How's it going, guys? Welcome back. This is the Wilmington Grand Prix Cat 4-5 field, and for some reason I thought my tire looked really good in this one, so my camera is tilted down. So yeah, the first lap anyway, we are going to switch over to third-person view. I am number 332 right there, and I have a great starting position. You are on board with my teammate Josh, so we have a camera on his bike this time. So yeah, first lap or so, we are going to see from his view. And yeah, so as much as I start up front, I actually don't get the best of starts. I kind of mess up a clip in, and the Bikeworks rider on the right of me actually messes up as well. So kind of get shuffled back a little bit, but and then caught out in the wind here. But yeah, not too bad. I mean, I guess one of the other benefits of starting up front is if you mess up, you are still in the middle. So not too bad. All right, so into the first couple corners, yeah, and I'm in pretty good position, and I'm moving up actually. So I kind of Josh loses sight of me a little bit here, but I am kind of on my way up until right about here, where unfortunately I latch on to a Rockland development rider and probably don't get off his wheel quick enough, and kind of lose my momentum coming down this hill. Speaking of teammates, my teammate Bill is also in this race. He also just zipped by us on the right there. And coming up to the sort of main feature in this course, I would guess, is this turn. So I take it wide over there on the left, over the sidewalk, which was quite exciting. And Josh keeps it in tight on the inside. So there are sort of two lines up that hill here. Okay, and it is a long, gentle stretch up, or gentle hill up here to the finish line. So if we jump back to my view, you can see I'm still on this Rockland wheel, and I really should have jumped off this faster. That was big mistake on my part. But most of the Rockland team are super strong. You can see me sort of peek out there and realize, there's a gap up here. So I do end up jumping off his wheel. But like I said, so most of the Rockland team is really strong, and they kind of keep together and race real smart. So I thought that was probably okay just to hang on his wheel for a little while, but probably too many gaps open up. So I do jump off his wheel in a second here. There we go, peeking out again. I really still am not great at figuring out when there's a gap in front of the rider that's in front of me. So if I'm on a wheel, I'll see a gap. You see Bill go by me on the left, and that's kind of when I realized. Also Mike as well. Shout out to Mike on the right there. That's when I realized I'm on the wrong wheel. So I jump off his wheel and jump on Bill's here. And yeah, I mean, I'm feeling actually pretty good at this point. Kind of in the back of the pack, but I'm still here. So second lap, and again, I take this nice and wide. Probably go up to jump up to the sidewalk here and punch it up this little climb. And I'm okay with that short little climb here. And I think, so I do notice that there's a gap here. So the wheel that Bill's on, left a little gap in front of him. So I think I end up closing a couple of these at the moment. So, but I'm still feeling okay. So I'll jump around Bill here, and I think I kind of shout to him, to jump on my wheel. Unfortunately, this gap was bigger than I had expected. So, I had to put out a bit of an effort there to close that. But you can see, like passing these couple of riders, there's still like decent gaps opening up sort of all over the field. So I really want to be up there with the the tail end of that field. And I think I do end up kind of making contact, but I have to burn quite a lot of matches to get up there. So I'm kind of hoping that I'm taking some riders with me behind me, mainly Bill if he jumped on my wheel there, because I'm going to be kind of spent by the time I get up here. So I do make it to this Star Trek rider in front of me. Unfortunately, he's on the smaller side, so not much of a draft there. But there's a few riders in front of him that I want to maintain touch with. But I can also see, a bit further up there that there are some more gaps opening up. So at the moment I really don't have the strength left to jump onto them, which is unfortunate. But yeah, that like closing on the last lap, closing those few gaps really kind of took it out of me. So you can see, the Star Trek rider kind of takes over there, and tries to close some gaps. So I jump on this QCW guy in front of us, and unfortunately, there are it's a pretty significant gap going up there. So we're gonna have to work pretty hard to get there, and it's kind of I don't want to say kind of a mistake, but because at the time I was probably dead, but right here, like I really should have pushed harder to try to close the gap up to that main field, because this is kind of where we lose touch with the peloton. And there's a rider behind us, another QCW rider behind us that'll kind of come up through on the right. I don't know if you can hear it, but he kind of jumps through and says like, look, we gotta work together. So I was trying to just get this little group into like a little rotation, and we do end up kind of settling into a bit of a rotation, but it's a little bit too late. So we do lose touch with that front group, but overall I think that was pretty good for the first few laps for me. I think I raced it pretty smart. I think just more, I don't know, like it's hard for me to figure out when I need to close gaps, and then when I can rely on somebody else to do it. So like there, I think the QCW guy sort of flicks me through, and I kind of jump up to these guys. So I'm still learning when it's my job to close gaps, and when I can rely on somebody else to do it, so I'm not stuck on a wheel. But anyway, let's talk about the course a little bit. So this is the first time I've done this race, even though it's a home race for me, which is exciting, because I know a lot of people that hang around. So even though the race itself doesn't quite go as well as I want it to, it was a great day. This is also our second race of the day. So we did the Masters Field earlier, and hung around all day, watched the other races. So it was a great day. Hung out with a bunch of guys, and chatted about bike racing all day, which is fantastic. So even though the race didn't go well, it was still a fun day. So the course, so like I said, first time I've done this course, and the weather was good. It was not wet, which was kind of abnormal for a Wilmington Grand Prix. If you've done it before, it always seems to be wet. It was sort of perfect temperature. It was a little bit windy, so on this backstretch here, you got blown around quite a bit in the crosswinds between the buildings and things. You see the yellow caution tape over there blowing around. But it brings us into, like I was saying, sort of the main feature of this course, and this turn up here was really the reason why I was like scared of this course beforehand. So you get going pretty fast downhill there, and then there's a sharp 90-degree turn here, and then there's this like punchy little uphill with a weird like light post right in the middle. So sometimes you go left, sometimes you go right. You saw me go left a couple times earlier. You kind of like cross the sidewalk and jump back onto the road. I thought it was going to be sketchy, and it wasn't actually. It was fine. So yeah, I don't know why I was thinking that it was so bad before, but it was fine. So I do take it wide sometimes if there's people on the inside, and yeah, it works out just fine. Through here, it is a sort of a gentle rise up to the finish line, but it is long. It's a long, gentle rise, so it does hurt you after that little punchy climb. And then the other thing about the course is like there's a lot of holes and potholes and bumps, sort of cobblestones and bricks, and so yeah, those are definitely things to watch out for. They did a pretty good job of marking them, but you do have to look out for them. So all right, and then the first couple corners, really it's like one big corner, so it's like corner there and then a tiny little downhill to this corner, so you really just take it as like a loop, and then you're back onto the windy backstretch again. But for my race, I am kind of spent again, unfortunately. I tried to keep on those two guys and just really wasn't able to do that. So I really actually don't know if anybody's on my wheel at the moment. But at some point I link up with another small group of riders, including my teammate Bill, who's in there, and we work together a bit, but we do end up getting pulled before the end, and I'm not real discouraged by that. I think, like I said, I raced okay actually. The course is tough, so it's a short lap, and obviously there's the hill section here, but because it's such a short lap, it's pretty easy to get lapped. So they do pull riders pretty aggressively. There were, just as an example, I think there were about 40 guys who started and like 10 or 11 that finished. So yeah, it's another one of those races where it was tough to make it to the end for everybody. Not just me. It's kind of a new rider. It's everybody was struggling to get to the end. So so I don't feel quite so bad about it. But it was a little bit of a bummer not to make it. And like I said, I think it really was that kind of second lap where I got a little complacent and maybe didn't close as many gaps as I should have. It's like I was saying, it's hard for me to judge when I should close a gap or when I should let somebody else do it and save some matches for myself. I think kind of from now on I'll probably just jump in and try to do it, just because otherwise I know that I have a much better chance of not making the end of the race when if I'm trying to rely on somebody else, or if I hop on a wrong wheel or something like that. But anyway, it's still fun, it's still great, and I do think I'm racing much better than I was certainly last season. So I'm definitely learning, when to put the efforts, and I'm also the other thing that I tried to work on this one, because there are a couple of teammates in the race. At least on that first lap, I tried to communicate with Bill and Josh and say, where I was, if I was on their wheel, just to kind of let them know that I was there. And the same thing with at the end here. Well, with other riders, you know, that I was on the right or the left. So I do think I'm getting better at that as well. You know, I think, yeah, things to work on. But I'm glad that I did this one. Like I said, I was a little apprehensive before this race. So like last year, I could have done this one, but I was a little bit scared of this course. I've seen a bunch of crashes in that bottom corner, and didn't want to crash, I guess. But you know, I'm glad I did it, and I'm also glad that it was dry, because it worked out for me. So. Yeah, well, I will. I'll go ahead and let the rest of this play. You know, if you wanna watch us struggle for another couple laps. You know, like I said, I do latch onto this group here, and I don't actually know if like they were on me the whole time, if they were behind me. So yeah, maybe at some point I gotta get like a rear camera so I can actually look back. But anyway, I'll let this play, and yeah. I got another race coming up next weekend at Easton, which is quite exciting because I've done that one before, so I know what to expect. And yeah, it should be another tough one, but it should be another fun one. So thanks for watching, and subscribe to see that race, or to let me know if you were in this one and how you did. All right, thanks.